Beautiful Salatiga at my partner Eddie's house. About 6 months ago, Eddie bought his first 10 goats. And at the sort of center of this whole thing is the idea that the goats are valuable both to give to the villagers as projects to, compost, using it to get rid of our waste because the goats will eat anything pretty much. And then during Ramadan, the goats are favorite food for celebrations, the ceremonies, Eid al-Fitr. It's a big Muslim ceremony. So the goats are valuable and they're sort of a cornerstone of what our environmental efforts are. And if you look here, Eddie's just installed a methane composting unit in the back. So we'll take a look at some goats. So this one over here, she's just about ready to give birth. So how long ago was it when you gave the villager the goats? 4 goats?
About 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago. Now he's up to 8 goats. He raises them for us, so it's a good deal. Get to feed the goats. Oh, these guys look pretty full. Come on. Ah! So let's go look at the methane unit. This is something totally new for the village here. Is that this just went in a couple of weeks ago or a couple months? So here we are, stage 1. This is the underside of the goat cage. So basically the goat poop and pee runs down into this, collection chamber, and then it's collected from there and put into here. Someday down the line, we're going to run our factories off of methane and photovoltaic power, but for now, this is just the first stage. This is a huge, monstrous cistern full of poop. And then from there, it gets digested, we add enzymes, and into here, is this where the gas is collected?
Yeah, gas is collected through the pipe.
And this is actually going to run Eddie's house. He's going to be able to cook and do all the things that normally run the house that usually coal-fired plants would provide the electricity. And then the final step is here, and this is, so eventually everything ends up in here and becomes fertilizer. So it's almost like a semi-closed system. So making use of all the garbage is such a huge thing here. You'll see later with the kilns and things that just about everything here is used for something, and the more complete we get, the better. So that's our methane composting system. We're going to jump in the car and take a little tour around the village and some of the different eco projects we're working on, and take a look at some of the factories where we're producing the furniture, and we're good to go. All right. Here we are. This is another project we're working on right now. The village area in the village we're in right now is sort of lower income, a lot of crime, a lot of thievery, not too many people have jobs here. So what we did is we created sort of a community development center where we're actually building it as we speak right now. And the idea is that we're going to process tofu and then sell it in the local market. And then also here we've got another facility where there's about 40 goats. And we're doing the same composting program and raising, feeding the goats. And we're just at the very beginning, so I'm actually really excited to see what this is going to look like 6 weeks from now when we come back to take a peek. This is their typical Indonesian street, about as wide as Iron Falls. So Salatiga, the village, or actually the city, is actually a pretty modern city, and about 120,000 people total in Salatiga. But it's all divided into smaller villages, and the unemployment rate here is probably, what, 20%? Less than really? And then what about for this village?
Oh, you mean, yeah, this village, I mean.
The overall total population that's unemployed, that need jobs.
I would say
20,000? Yeah. So the tofu plantation is going to pretty... The little sun's coming out. That's great. This is a liter of benzene, which is petrol. And this is basically you pull your scooter up and fill her up. That's how it all works here. Pretty easy. You'll find these about every 100 yards everywhere in Indonesia. The new tiles for the roof. This is great. Because when we first opened this place, local people started throwing rocks and breaking the tiles because they didn't want the smell of the goats here in the village. But what they're going to find out is with all the jobs that are created, it's going to bring new money to the village. It's a terrific opportunity. So here's another cool thing. This is an alabacia tree, and we just planted about 3,000 of these in different places around the area. They take about 7 years to mature. But they're a terrific wood product because they grow so fast, and we can use them for packaging material, boxes. We can even build stuff from them. But the goal is that for every cabinet or project or piece of furniture that we build, we're going to plant X number of trees to offset the amount of carbon we use for the fuel to fly here, the fuel to fire the kiln, and basically all the energy is offset by the fact that we're planting. Well, the goal is, I don't know how many, 20,000, 30,000 eventually. And these will come to maturity in 7 years, and you'll actually end up getting for about, I don't know, what's equal to maybe, 20 cents American will eventually grow into a tree that's probably worth $100 to $200. So you just got to be patient, and you know what? The trees are good because, they're taking the carbon dioxide out of the air and offsetting all our carbon footprint. Let's take a look at the goat pen. So this right here, these guys, this is Indonesian construction, baby. 101. Bamboo, bare feet, and saws. That's all you need. You don't even need shoes. So they're building this whole thing out of materials they're pulling right out of the jungle, basically, around here for free, pretty much. So your cost is basically a guy with a saw. And in another probably 3-4 weeks, this will actually be a pretty much waterproof, rainproof area for them to do the processing of these soybeans, turn them into tofu. And the eventual goal is that they're going to take the tofu on the back of their scooter into town and sell it. Fresh tofu, no preservatives, nothing. It's just as fresh as it can get. And right out of the factory right here. If you can call that a factory, but who knows? It's a start. And it hasn't been tried here before, so this is a great experiment. We'll see how it ends up. These guys are actually building the rebar reinforcement for a cement pillar that will eventually support. Where are they going to put this?
A water tower.
Oh, a water tower. You need to dig a well?
Yeah.
Dig a well. Okay. All right, here we go. This whole place is bamboo. It's pretty ridiculous. The entire building. You look, there's 40 goats here. About 40. Friendly goats too. So basically we're doing the same thing with the composting here. Basically all the waste from this facility becomes compost. Eventually be used for making methane. Goats will end up, we get milk from them, we get cheese, and these guys all end up downtown for Ramadan. Scoop. So now they're going to be safely locked up in here. All right, let's roll. So here we go. It's about 90 zillion degrees out right now, and humidity's about right there with it because it's rainy season. But we're just cruising through the roads to the village. And the good news is today we're going to get to go to the new factory that we're just basically closed on in the last couple days. So the idea is this is going to be from the ground up the start of a new factory, and we're going to do everything that we can to make this factory green from the ground up, including trying to use methane for the kilns and possibly some photovoltaic power to run the lights, and then closed circle, pretty much cradle to cradle production for the furniture. And the idea is that we're not going to waste anything. And everything that we use there, we're going to do our best to really evaluate how well we perform environmentally. And the end result is hopefully that for just about every project we do, the world's going to end up a better place because we're going to plant X number of trees, provide X number of jobs, create projects for the local community, fund them for possibly medical, education, those kinds of things for our factory workers. And this is just the start. It's a great chance to really understand how your choices in America when you buy something, in this case it would be furniture or a kitchen or home supplies, how that decision is going to really impact something 12,000 miles away on the ground. And I think that's something that's really missing when you go to the store or home improvement center in the United States. You ask somebody where they bought something, and the answer is probably Home Depot. But the reality is Home Depot bought it from China. China got it from Laos, Cambodia, Burma. Because the reality is the majority of wood products that are harvested today, a good percentage of it's harvested illegally, and a lot of it's logged illegally, including the beef industry in Borneo or Kalimantan right now. Thousands of acres every day are cut down to provide timber that all gets illegally shipped to China, and then it turns into land for cattle grazing to make burgers. So the idea is we're going to try to get a clear understanding of just about every piece of wood that we could possibly use, where it comes from and where it goes when it's done, and the energy and the environmental and social impact of just about every little bit of work that we do is going to be evaluated and offset somehow by something positive, whether it be for the community, whether it be for the environment. It's all one. The idea is that for years people have been coming to Indonesia and taking advantage of the situation, and basically everything's based on price, without any concern for the people that are making the furniture or any concern for the environment or the raw resource products that they use. And we're going to turn that around. So I got goosebumps right now. We're going to the factory, and I'm going to get to see it for the first time. You're going to get to see it for the first time. And it's probably going to be pretty rustic, but I can't wait. A year from now, it'll be a whole new story. Hopefully we'll get to see the whole progress from the ground up. So that's about it. Thumbs up. Take a look at as we head into the town of Salatiga, which is actually a pretty big city, and it gets rural pretty quick. Just a couple of kilometers, maybe a mile outside of town, and you're in the jungle pretty much. So pretty cool. Thanks a lot. Bagus, terima kasih.
Just turn left.
Oh!
This car.
What? I ran over one rock. All right, guys, here we are at the Origin Factory for the very first time. In another 3 months, it's going to be an entirely different place. If you take a look here, this has all been vacated. And over here we have the pad of land that we're going to build another larger facility here. And then over here we've got the alabacia trees again. These are trees we're growing 7 years to maturity, and these are essentially what we're going to plant to offset all the wood we use for the cabinet. So 3 months from now when we come back, this should be an entirely different place. But let's take a look inside and see what we got going. Got some big plans for this place. Someday, 3 months, 6 months, this will be filled with machines. We're going to knock down some walls. Which walls are we knocking down? Yeah, this whole wall here will be gone. And this will be filled with saws, band saws, planers, all the stuff you need basically to build our kitchens and to build our... So if this wall comes out, we'll have all this space to use. All right, so down here, you can stay up there, but check this out. We're gonna build a whole ceiling in here that's gonna connect to this building for about an extra, I don't know, 5,000 or 8,000 square feet. What do you think about maybe another 500 square meters? 300 square meters. Yeah, but check out all this. I mean, it's basically jungle around here. And up here, we have a village here. this family's living right up here, eating fresh coconuts. Got chickens running around. I mean, this is the real deal for a new factory. Got a long way to go, but this is a good place to start. Pretty excited. Do you know the people who live over here? We'll get to know them soon. Yeah? So they're not gonna throw rocks at us? We're gonna give them jobs, right? Give them jobs and some food to eat, a little help, place to grow some stuff. I like it here. I think it's beautiful. These are all coconut trees here too. Maybe we'll plant some mango trees, some apple trees. A regular fruit garden. Pretty awesome. I can't wait to come back here in a couple months and see what you've done. We're almost kind of in a state park or national park or something like that. Very cool. I love it. I could live here. So you can't really see it real well, but when these clouds clear out here, that's the volcano Merbabu. I mean, literally 10 kilometers that way, right at the base of the volcano, right over there. I don't know if you can get a shot of it. It's pretty cloudy today over there. It is the rainy season, so. But this place is heaven. I love it. What a place for a factory. Good job. Let's go. All right, this is the first step in the process. If you look in here, this is where all the wood comes when it's basically chopped down and ends up stacked in here before it goes to the kiln. So you've got all different types of wood in here. Some for packing materials, some for handicrafts, that kind of thing. Now our teak is 100% recycled, so it's coming out of old houses, but I'm sure there's a stack of it in here somewhere. But if you can look, this is all different species of lumber. Merbau, Mung-er. So check it out, guys, believe it or not. What's that? This is all teak? This is what turns into our beautiful cabinets, believe it or not. All these posts, rails, sanded down, kiln dried, cleaned up, milled. Look at these big old chunkers here. It's a big old teak log that's probably been in the ground for 50 years, who knows? But inside the wood is still perfect. Ugh. So all this over here, look at these. Oh, these are awesome. Seriously, no one's gonna believe this. But this is gonna turn into kitchen cabinetry. I mean, this thing's funky and old. And one of the great things about teak is that it actually has an enzyme in it that protects it from bugs and fungus and that kind of stuff, which is why they've used it for shipbuilding for the last couple thousand years. Actually, the Chinese started using it 3,000 years ago to build ships because it wouldn't rot, wouldn't allow worms to grow and all that stuff. So you can actually throw this in the water and come back 50 years later and it's still just as good as the day they threw it in there. And that's why it makes such a good material for building furniture and for building our cabinets. So this is what it looks like at the very first stage of the production. Coming up, we'll probably film us dismantling a house because this is literally out of a house. Some of the other resources we had is factory floors, those kinds of things. Everything was built in teak 100 years ago. And teak's not an indigenous species to Indonesia. It was brought here by the Dutch, 15, 16, 1700s and planted in plantations. And the species of teak that's here actually originally comes from Burma. Burma, Laos, Cambodia, that area. And in Indonesia, it's not a native species. The other misnomer is that teak grows only in the rainforest. Well, teak's not a rainforest species. It actually normally grows in drier climates, and it's not really found in the rainforest. You don't have to cut down the rainforest to get these trees. So what we're looking at was really planted here probably 100 to 150 years ago. It's been in a house for 50 or 60 years. The trees it was cut from were probably big. Uniformly now in Indonesia, the majority of the plantation teak cut down at 20 to 30 years. It's a much smaller tree, not as hard as the wood that's older. So It's one big advantage. Everything that we make is recycled, and when we're done with our cabinets, you don't throw them away. They don't end up in the garbage. You'll be able to use them because they're made like European furniture was made. It becomes an antique or an heirloom, and it's made to last 200, 300 years. Who knows, the cabinets are gonna be here a lot longer than we are, so it's why we use the recycled teak. And this is gonna be oiled? Just oiled?
Sanded and oil.
Yeah. You got a whole container of that?
Yeah.
Very cool. This is a project we've been working on forever with a company to make these spoons and bowls. So check this out. This is one major problem we still have environmentally is these kilns because we're burning the leftover waste wood. This is a big pile of sawdust, leftover wood chunks, you name it. But all this stuff ends up in the kiln. And that produces more carbon up into the atmosphere because we're burning it. So the idea is eventually to replace this, we're gonna compost that, turn it to methane, burn methane and natural gas, and we'll duplicate the process. And what we're really doing here is lowering the moisture content of the wood down to about 13%. And that'll keep it from cracking and bending on the trip overseas. It gets really hot in the containers. And the weather's much drier in the US than it is here. So stuff tends to crack, pop, etc. It's really hot in there, Asep. It's very fun. Come look. Yeah, imagine taking a poop in there. It's hot in there, yeah? Wow, that's like 200 degrees in there, 300 degrees. Woo. It's humid in there too, wow. So all this wood's in here drying out. Wow, I'm cooking. Yeah, it's a sauna in there. Sauna that smells like wood. Woo, that's hot. All right, so next stop, we're gonna head to the production factory and take a look at how the furniture gets built. Yeah, much more wood grain in it, huh? Not so much greens in it. How many tables are you making right now? A few hundred?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
They all ship to the finishing factory.
All to Europe. All right. Terima kasih, Asep. See you next time. All right, it's lunchtime. This is as legit as it gets, Indonesian market here. Gonna grab some lunch at the local warung. I don't even know what we're gonna eat, but it should be interesting. Is this ayam?
Yeah.
Tofu?
Tofu and some chicken over there.
That's tahu, yeah?
Oh, yeah. And chicken.
And ayam. What's this?
It's also tofu, but different dish.
What do you guys want to eat? Ayam? Permisi. So this is tahu, which is tofu, and ayam, which is chicken, and in a funky sauce. And hopefully you don't have to film me in the bathroom tomorrow. Terima kasih. Where are you sitting here? Are you having tea?
You having tea? Yeah.
I'm having. I guess I'm having. Is that with manis?
Yeah.
The manis. I'm gonna have air, which is water. Can you eat that in here?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna pound a durian after that chicken meal. Not quite ripe yet, huh?
Yes, right.
Yeah? So this is this funky fruit here that tastes like cheese mixed with garlic, mixed with, feels like a soft, creamy, stinky thing. Tastes like no other fruit you could ever eat. It's really good. Bagus. Oh, really good. And now we got some rambutan here. Now what's funky about this durian fruit, they actually don't allow it in hotels here because it smells so bad. I'm actually shocked right now they're not kicking me out on my butt into the street for opening this in here, but I trust that guy. Want some durian or rambutan? This rambutan's like a giant grape, giant furry grape. And you just pop it open like that. It's like an eyeball inside. And you end up with what pretty much looks like a gigantic grape with a seed in it. It doesn't even taste like a grape. So check this out. We just ate 4 bowls of, what do you call it? Gouda. Guduk. Yeah, guduk. Gotcha. $5 American. $5, 4 people. Terima kasih. Bagaimana mengucapkan yara onion?
Bawang.
Bawa. That's all stuff for soup, yeah? Yum. Very cool. I'm feeling that the rambutan and the durian fruit. Tough dessert. You want a shirt for Sam? Oh, no way, mackerel. Yeah, mackerel and herring. Very cool. Can you just eat those right there like that? Cook them? Are they salted? We'll go for it. Yeah? Api semuan. Is bagus?
He buy out.
No more?
No more.
Tidak? Oh well. It's like pudding, yeah?
Habis semua. All.
Oh, the chicken heads. Check this out. A little fresh air after that's kind of nice. You ready? Here we go. So we've got the girls over here making flooring with tiny pieces of mirror. Pretty crazy. So check out, this is the whole factory. Over here we've got, and one thing that's really, really nice is our packaging system here. We've got the SKU, the color, the item, the style, the factory weight, everything. And in a cardboard box. So it leaves here ready to go into the store. It's a pretty great system. And then down here, this is pretty crazy. This is about 20 containers a month of furniture going out here. And this is all that hand-painted white style. Not so much my cabinet style, but it's pretty amazing. 500 employees, 500 people working here, 600 people working here right now. All right, so we're back. We gave these guys a couple goats about a year ago. So we're coming back to see how things are going over here. Is this the male? Oh, he's a nice guy. So ask him what he's going to do with the goats when.
Rencananya Pak Jan dengan kambing-kambing ini apa? Jadi dijual,
Sebagian biar berkembang banyak, itu jadi banyak, jadi jual.
Yeah. So is he?
to grow,
Yeah.
to selling.
Before he sells any for Ramadan? Yeah.
Terus ke Idul Adha.
Yeah. How many goats does he want?
Pak Jan pengen punya sampai berapa kambing?
Ya, kemampuan pribadi itu jadi enggak ya terbatas berapa gitu enggak bisa.
I didn't hear a number in there.
Not yeah. He's limited to his capacity.
Yeah. And how many dogs he has?
Anjing berapa?
5.
5 dogs. That's great.
Iya, pregnant.
3 are pregnant. This one doesn't mind getting pet. They're stepped in goat shit. Is he collecting the sial? Is he collecting for composting, the poop?
Ya, Pak Jan ordernya pakai untuk apa? Kebun.
For fertilizer. Yeah. Is he growing anything in his garden?
Pak Jan tanam ini tanaman juga.
Pohon-pohon.
Yeah, it's just trees. Very cool. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Ya, ya. Sama-sama.
All right. Let's go. Yeah. I don't like that dog. Ready? All right. You guys ready? Yeah.